broadcasting live from our studio in Appleton, Wisconsin. You're tuned into Fox Cities Core on WCZR Code Zero Radio. We're the show that gives you an opportunity to call in and be a part of the show. Our call-in line is 920-358-0795. Core. Today I'm very excited to be joined by Mark Hudson. He's the Executive Director of Irish Fest of the Fox Cities. The festival is a celebration of Irish and Celtic heritage that features world-class music, a cultural area, a kids area, and various vendors. The event is happening on Friday, September 19th and Saturday, September 20th at Jones Park in downtown Appleton. Thank you for joining us, Mark. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Thank you, Andy.
Well, this is exciting. This is an event that I was fortunate enough to attend last year, and I had a really good time and was looking forward to it again this year now, which crept up really fast. How long have you been preparing for this year's Irish Fest at the Fox Cities?
Actually, right after our last one last year in September, we pretty much just started planning with getting bands and just making sure we had the park with permits and just right away taking care of everything.
Does it kind of add a little stress to the actual event itself? Are you already thinking about next year during the current event before it's even over?
Yes. Yeah. You learn for these bands that are coming from all over the world, you have to start talking to them roughly 2 years prior just to start making promises and, so.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your background. When was the first time that you got involved with this festival?
I was meeting Matt Miller, who was our founder, that passed last year, at McGinnis Irish Pub. Just found the Irish Pub here when we moved to Appleton in 2018 and just never looked back since. And Matt asked me to be on his board of directors, which we have 12 members to that board. Ever since then, it's just been all Irish, everything Irish.
Well, so yeah, that was year one that you were involved right off the bat.
Yeah, Matt wanted to start the Irish Fest of the Fox Cities in 2020. COVID put that back a year, and then 2021 was our first year. So, and this is year 5 finally.
So what was your job the first year?
I was on the grill making Reubens.
So quite a change from year one to year 4. And Matt passed away a couple years ago.
Last year.
Well, it was last year. So
May.
So the Irish Fest 4 was already in planning stages. Yes. Can you tell me what that was like having a tragic thing like that happen, halfway through the year?
Yeah, it was totally unexpected. And, the board had a meeting and we discussed it and we all voted to continue. He already had a lot of things in place. So then we picked those pieces up and thanks to Bridget Ward from Milwaukee Irish Fest came along and was co-director with me. We pretty much put all the pieces together. It was like 1,000-piece puzzle set, missing probably about 10 to 20 pieces of the puzzle, but we pulled it off, and it was one of the best fests we had. I believe this year is going to even be better. But yeah, it was a challenge. Matt kept everything to himself, so all the passwords, everything. It was a real work in progress.
So do you have any experience, Mark, prior to this doing any kind of festival planning?
None whatsoever.
So I'm curious, like the agreement, like what drove you to agree to take on such responsibility? Like you obviously knew all of what went into it and all the stress that comes with something like that.
It's the passion, the legacy. I mean, we discussed it, my wife and I, and it's just something that we can't just let go. We see what it does for the community to bring all those people. It's a great time.
So were you privy on year one as far as figuring out a place to have it? And what inspired, did Matt ever share with you what inspired him to want to start an Irish Fest up here in the Fox Cities?
Well, he bought McGinnis Irish Pub in 2015, and he wanted to move. He had Oshkosh Irish Fest, and he did that for about 10 years, and he ended up bringing it up to Appleton. And when he bought McGinnis Irish Pub, he had this idea of having it at Jones Park, which is a block away from the pub. So it was kind of a, no-brainer for him. After party at the pub, then you have this great festival down at Jones Park, which is about, like I said, a block away. So
Jones Park is a pretty big area. Obviously, they've got a nice stage. Really gives you a chance to spread things out and include a lot of different things. I think in the early years, didn't they do something at like St. Mary's Church and there were McGinnis's? There's like different spots outside of Jones Park that they would do stuff. Yes. And then last year it was more contained specifically in Jones Park, right?
Yes. So in the past, we have a Celtic Mass at St. Mary's. That's at 4:30 on Saturday on September 20th. That's continued. This is year 5 of doing that. That's at 4:30. And then Matt would always have an after party, which would happen at the McGinnis Irish Pub. So it kind of took up a good block of the area. But yeah, now we focus pretty much down at Jones Park. Also the exhibition center is where we have our cultural area. Where we have another stage in there. We have some great artists that go in there, and you'll see displays from the Irish Consulate out of Chicago in there. You'll see genealogy. So there's a lot of things. It's not just music, and it's just not in the park. It's also in the exhibition center too.
Do you have a favorite part of the festival?
I enjoy the whole thing. I really do. Now more than ever. All the years of my wife and I cooking, she still does. We have Irish fare food there, and she handles that every year. Does a phenomenal job. Makes the best Reubens ever. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not on the grill anymore.
Hey, were you always interested in Irish heritage prior to this?
Yes.
I think you said you seeked out a Irish pub in Appleton when you moved up here. So I was assuming the answer was going to be yes to that.
Yes. Yeah. When we just happened to stumble across McGinnis Irish Pub when we first moved here, and that was our go-to place. And had a great friendship with Matt, and helped him out with St. Patrick's Day, and just loved the camaraderie of being around the people. Just a great atmosphere. Really fun.
So I think when some people think of an Irish Fest, they think of just people dressing up in green and getting fall over drunk. But that's not the case here at Irish Fest of the Fox Cities, is it?
No, not at all. We actually are very family-friendly atmosphere. We have the wee ones, like you were saying earlier. We have Celtic canines. I mean, we have Irish dancers. There is so much going on. It's not just going there and drinking and, yes, there is Guinness there, but it's people come there for the music, the heritage, the culture, their friendships, and of course, the Irish fair food, and we even have vendors there that sell stuff from Ireland. So you can get clothes, jewelry. So there's a lot of things. It's everything Irish.
Yeah. So walk me through, if somebody was going to Irish Fest of the Fox Cities, they're coming down the steps from whatever street that is.
Lawrence
Street, thank you. And walking down the steps into Jones Park, what are the different zones they're going to walk through? Walk me through the footprint of the festival.
Well, we've been changing it every year. We're trying to find that perfect setting that makes everybody, see everything. The cultural area being inside the exhibition center. So when you walk down the stairs off of Lawrence or the ramp, you come in, you're going to go through admissions, and right away you're going to see the Fox Hurling Club, Fox Valley Hurling Club. They're going to be there. They'll have a tent up. Then you look to the right, there's going to be the wee ones area, which is the children's area. It's a big tent, and then there's going to be crafts in there, and there's going to be some shows in there. There's a magician that'll be there. There's just a lot of things going on in there. Then you're going to see, of course, the exhibition center where all those doors are. There's, like I said, stuff in there, the cultural heritage, the stage in there also. And then you'll see Tullymore Dew will be on the grounds over in that corner too. You'll see our new ingredients, who's one of our presenting sponsors. They bring the Kerrygold cheese and butter and really, really good samples. And then from there, you're going to see, of course, the main stage. And then when you get up underneath past the main stage, there'll be merch and vendors and food and so on.
Do you make some of the merch, Mark?
No, I do not.
I mean, can people buy Irish Fest of the Fox Cities shirts and things like that?
There is some, yes, we do have some, not a whole bunch, but we do have some to sell. I personally don't make the stuff, but
what's some of the feedback you've heard from people after some of the past events? Do you remember a certain comment or a nice thing somebody said that stuck in your head?
I've heard everything from where the Porta Johns are set at to, where parking. I mean, of course, parking's always an issue, but we have 2 parking garages right there off of Lawrence. So, I mean, it's a hard kind of thing with Jones Park, but honestly, we've had nothing but great feedback. Even the police department they enjoy the event. They're always, I guess, have a pretty good list of officers that want to go to it. So, but yeah, I don't really get any negative feedback, really too bad. So,
well, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I know you've been to Ireland a few times, right? A couple times at least?
Yeah, I think we're about 4 or 5 times now in the last 2 years.
So it's been more since you've started taking a bigger part in the festival. Yeah. What are some of the things that you have decided to do at the festival that you maybe picked up from traveling over there and visiting the actual country?
Well, of course, you look at the culture over there, and that's one of the big things we want to promote with our festival, and it's with the partnership with the consulate out of Chicago. We get these nice display pieces from them that we keep inside. So it really shows off, the culture and the heritage, and it is the bands. When you go over there, the music is, it's Irish music. It's and of course Scottish, it's Celtic, but all in all, the music it really draws you in, and then you see these bands over there that some come over here, some don't. There's future ones that will be coming over, but yeah, it's. The whole land over there it's hard to explain. There's no other place like it here in the U.S.
What's your favorite spot in Ireland?
Galway.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
The views, the music.
Yes. The food, the drink.
So how do you get the bands? Because a lot of them are from Ireland that play, and obviously some are from the United States, right?
Correct.
But that's a pretty big commitment unless they're coming through the area already. Are there any acts that specifically fly from Ireland just to play the festival?
Not too many. Most of the time they get their visas and then they set up a trip where they're going to hit 4 or 5 other festivals or arenas or whatever it is that they where they want to play. But very rare do they just come straight over and play and then head right back. You try to make it worth their while coming over. So it is an 8-hour flight over here.
And so you mentioned they kind of hit the festival circuit. Obviously, Milwaukee is probably the next closest for an Irish Fest.
Yeah.
What separates Milwaukee's Irish Fest from Irish Fest of the Fox Cities?
Well, it's the world's largest Irish Fest in the world. They roughly have 15 plus stages in Milwaukee. They've been around, that's where it all started with the Irish Fest. And then you have lacrosse. They've been around 25 years. You have Irish Fair of Minnesota has been around for a long time. And then across the pond on Lake Michigan, you have Michigan Irish Fest that's been around 25 plus years too. So you have some festivals that have been around. So we're kind of in the middle of it all. So we get some good picks with some of these bands that come through here. So
it sounds like the idea is not to copy what Milwaukee's doing, but to take something that's going to work in our community.
Yes.
And hopefully keep growing it.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with what I saw last year. That you mentioned the cultural area in the expo center. There were, to kind of break it down a little bit more, there were, like you said, genealogy, like tables where you could sign up for trips to Ireland. You could learn more about genealogy. There is a smaller stage in there where some of the acts that were playing the big stage in Jones Park were coming in there and doing like smaller sets on that more intimate stage before or even after going out and playing the big stage. When those acts are here, do they seem to just want to play as much as they can while they're here?
Yeah, they definitely were willing to help out in any way. A couple of them help out with the mass at St. Mary's. They play the bagpipes. Actually, Martin from Scaryvore and Scott Wood. Scott Wood has helped last year with the tin whistle lesson, and so that'll continue. There's a lot of them want to keep playing and having a good time.
And I think it's kind of like a make your own experience in a way, because if you don't want to sit outside in the sun in front of that stage during the day, you can go inside the cultural center and see a more intimate, smaller seated show where there's seats already set up. And if you're the type that wants to be outside and watch music on the big stage and hoot and holler and all that, you can be out there and do it that way. So I just love that aspect of it. And just the fact that it's so close. You don't have to go down to Milwaukee. If you're into the Irish heritage and the music and that, it's in our own backyard, which I think is really kind of a unique thing that people should take advantage of.
Yeah.
And you said the attendance has been growing every year.
Yes.
What do you expect the attendance to be this year? How have ticket sales been so far?
So far, we're doing really well. We're hoping to break last year. I'm hoping for close to 5,000 plus people in the 2-day event.
So what's the biggest draw, in your opinion, to get people downtown? Is it the bands, or is it the food, or is it the cultural aspect? What do you put the most time into when you're planning this?
Well, honestly, the bands are number one. I mean, you don't want to say the festival is all about music, because it's not.
We are a musical city.
Yes, we are. yes, we are. There's more to it than just the music. But it is one of the key ingredients to an Irish Fest is the music. And that is one where you spend a lot of time. I mean, the planning is already, for next year on bands is already, already in the works. So, and that's the way it happened last year also. It was the same thing. It's just you really focus on getting those bands, get them secured, get the contract signed, and then worry about all the other details.
Can you tell me some of the acts that are playing?
Well, of course. So we have some great bands coming from Ireland and Scotland. Of course, Scaryvore, year 5, the 20th anniversary. Of course, they're coming back. Everybody loves Scaryvore.
So they've done all 5 years?
Yes, they have. And they were really good friends with Matt, so that was kind of a bond that they had, and we love having them back every year. But we have some lads out of Ireland called the Boxing Banjos. Phenomenal young group, really traditional Irish music. We also brought in from Columbus, Ohio, we brought the Drowsy Lads, and they're going to be playing both days, Friday and Saturday, just the same as Scaryvore and Boxing Banjo. We also have Cassie Maggie, who's a sister duet. They're out of Nova Scotia, so a little bit different. There's a lot of Irish up in that area, in the Nova Scotia area, so that's kind of neat. So yeah, we got, there's Seamus Kennedy, has been around since the 90s. He's going to be inside the cultural area doing his stuff. We have magician Hugh Irwin will be there. And it goes on and on. Starting off Friday, we have Derek Byrne and Patty Grass kicking off the festival right away on Friday at 3:45. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
And then the music goes until what time? Around 11, or is it
10
later?
o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yes.
And typically, does it seem like more people wait to come out till later in the day, or do you get? I
Yes.
suppose it depends on what people are looking to get out of the festival.
Yeah, that's one of the challenges is when you're booking these bands is, okay, how do you set them up? You don't bring a closer like Scaryvore. You're not going to play them at noon on the Saturday. So it's kind of one of those catch-22 things where you're really trying to figure out how can you get people down to the park early. And but we have, our lineup on Saturday, it starts off with our opening ceremony at 10 a.m. And then from there we have the Shower Irish dancers, and they do their thing on the stage. And then from there we go to Ian Gould, who's out of Milwaukee. Actually, he's from Belfast, Ireland. So Ian Gould and Lucas Yeager will be on the stage in the morning. And then we have Colm Keegan, and then it goes from there to, the Gleasons out of Milwaukee. And so we have some local bands, but also a lot of bands worldwide. So to me, it's like there's a lot of pieces that are moving here constantly. Have you been faced with anything where something went wrong and then you had to fix it? a lot of times it's my grounds crew. It's usually electrical problems here and there, but extension cords, stuff like that. But all in all, luck of the Irish, we've been lucky so far. But I know it's just around the corner. That's something, But this year, one of the things we've been hearing out there is visa issues. But all the bands that we have coming from Ireland and Scotland or Canada all have their visas, so we're good there. We've heard some problems out there. Milwaukee had a few issues with visas and that, and it's just one of those things. There's always that chance that all of a sudden your band doesn't show up because they couldn't get over here. But this year, all of our bands have already been here, so we know that. Knock on wood, we're safe this year.
Being the executive director, Mark, are you ever afraid that they're going to pull you up on stage to sing a number or two?
I can't sing.
But what if they did? Would you go up there and try it?
I'm sure I would try. Hopefully they can mix it so it sounds somewhat good.
Well, you said it was a family-friendly event. What are some of the family-friendly things that people can find at this festival?
Well, like I said earlier, we have the Celtic canines. The kids and adults love seeing all the different types of dogs from Ireland and that are Irish bred. The wee ones area, of course, and
There's a scavenger hunt last year.
Yes,
that was really popular with my kid.
Yeah, that was something different. These kids running around and having a good time, and that's what you want. You want to see people having a good time. You want to see the smiles on their face. So, of course, in the wee ones area, we're having a few artists in there doing some different things. Actually, Ian Gould and Lucas Yeager are doing a little pirate skit. They call it "Shivering Me Timbers," and so they got some different things going on, but it'll be a neat event. But I mean, the shopping, the food, so it's open, for.
I think last year there was balloon animals, so there probably is things getting added all the way up until the festival starts.
Yeah.
But what's the fee to get in? We didn't talk about that yet. How much are tickets?
So yes, it is a ticketed event. So right now online, if you go online, for a 2-day pass, which is Friday and Saturday, it's $25. If you wait and walk up, you're going to be paying $35. So right now is the time to buy your tickets. A Friday early pass online is only $10, and then on Saturday is $20. So, and then of course it goes up, it'll be at 15 if you walk up and 25 if you.
Do kids get in for free, or is there
Yes, kids 12 and under are free.
So really, that if you're going as a family, that really makes a difference.
Yes. Yeah.
And are there people that have their kids there all the way until 10? I imagine some of the kids are really getting into Scary Boar.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is probably good to see.
Yeah.
Can people bring their own chairs since it's outside in front of that stage?
Yes. So in Jones Park, you got that grassy, area there, and yes, people do bring their own lawn chairs and that too.
So you can bring your own chairs. What can't you bring in?
Your own beer. No, usually no food or drink. So yeah, no coolers or anything like that. So.
Is it hard to be in a ticketed event, hard to contain people in that area since it's so expansive?
We have security and our leadership team. In the last 4 years, it's been a very clean event where we've had no issues. So I don't see any issues there with having any kind of troubles or anything like that. Being a ticket event, it's more of a private event being ticketed. So.
And they do have that nice playground down there as well.
Yes.
So on top of what you guys already have there for kids, there's also the playground. So it's really if the parents are into watching the music and sampling the beer and stuff, their kids can be playing on the playground or doing one of the numerous other things that is available.
Yes. Yeah.
So I did you mentioned earlier Guinness. What have you noticed about the difference between Guinness in Ireland versus America? Did you notice a difference?
Yes. Yeah. It's sort of rumor has it that Guinness is not brewed in Ireland. The stuff that we get, it's brewed in Canada. I never really got the actual real answer there, but it does taste different in Ireland. I mean, being that it is brewed there in Ireland, but I think they do have it brewed somewhere else for the United States. So
there is a difference. We just don't exactly know what the difference is.
I heard it was brewed in Africa at one time, and then I've heard it's been brewed in Canada, and so it's one of those things you just,
So you mentioned you manned the grill during the first Irish Fest. Have you ever had to stand behind the bar and pour Guinness?
Well, at the pub, yes. Back in the days, yes. I used to bartend a few times there, but at the event, very rare do I ever go behind the bar. We have plenty of volunteers that do that, so I don't want to interfere with them and their job. So,
yeah, well, you mentioned it. I kind of want to see your pouring skills. I like what you're doing there. That's like exactly the opposite of how I would pour it.
Well, you'll see here after this is actually, if it was a tap, you would go all the way up on a normal full pint up to the harp, and then you'd let it sit for 119.5 seconds, and then you would top it off with the tap.
And you poured the whole can in there.
Yeah.
Look at that. That looks amazing. Well, I'm going to try that now. I'll probably wreck all my stuff over here. You opened it, and then you went straight upside down, which I would have had it tilted, the glass and the can. It's getting scary to the top. But yeah, a lot less foam than when.
Yeah, now you're going to see that cloud. Yep, there you go, right there.
Wow.
So you see that separation right now, and then it'll all come together and make that nice dark caramel red color. And you don't realize that in Guinness. You think it's a dark beer, but if you hold it up to the light, you'll see a lot of red in it.
How long do you leave something like this sit before you sip it?
119.5 seconds.
So you must have taken the tour at the Guinness factory.
I actually learned this at the pub.
So would you say that Guinness is the most requested or the most thought of Irish drink when people are thinking of, or would you think it's more of the like whiskey, like the Jameson?
It's a combination of both the Irish beers. You have Guinness, Smithwick's, Harp, and then of course your Irish whiskeys. I mean, like here this year we have Tullamore Dew is going to be on the grounds. They'll be doing some sampling. We also have Five Farms Irish Cream that everybody loves. I mean, so they'll have a little 10 up. This year we added Shanky's Whip. It's an Irish liqueur. They're going to be there doing sampling also.
So when you say sampling, you mean people that are there can sample for free some of this stuff.
Yeah, so they can come up and get in the long lines because they usually are.
What if you get there early? Are they doing the samples early?
Yes, they usually start right away in the morning. They have different times, and that'll be posted, when they're doing their samplings and stuff. So, but yeah, everybody likes the free samples.
Once people come in, if they get a ticket for the day, they come early, they want to go home, are they able to get back in?
Yes. Yeah. They will get a stamp on their hand, and then so they can have re-entry at any time.
Well, that sounds great. So if you want to take advantage of less crowds, come in the morning and then come back, you go home and whatever and come back and see some of the music playing on the big stage at night, you can do that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, we would hope that they would stay all day, so...
You know what? That would be ideal. And if you bring your chairs, there's a better chance.
Yes. Yeah.
And definitely, you guys take cash as well as cards, right? So if, I know some places like the Miller Park or whatever it's called now, and some of these places are going cashless, which puts some of the cash carrying people in a bind, but you do take cash, you take cards. So bring some money, buy some food, buy something to drink.
Yes. Yeah. We definitely take cash and card. So we're not a cashless event, so...
Well, I'd like to ask you about the volunteers, because you mentioned the volunteers a bunch of times. If somebody's interested in being a volunteer, what does that entail? What options do they have available to volunteer for? So
if you go on the website, irishfestivalfoxcities.com, we have a volunteer link, and it'll go in there, and you'll see different shifts. We have shifts from pouring beer, which everybody pretty much wants to do, to expo, working in the exhibition center, doing admissions at the main admissions or expo admissions on Saturday. Main missions is only on Friday. There's the chipper, which is our authentic Irish food. There's volunteer shifts in there. So, there's volunteer shifts everywhere. And usually they're about a 3 or 4 hour shift. you get a volunteer shirt, you get free admission, and you also get a ticket for one free meal out of the chipper. Yeah,
that's pretty generous. I'd imagine that you get. I mean, do you need a lot of volunteers yet?
Oh yeah, we always could use extra volunteers. I mean, the slots are filling up, but we still are always looking for more help.
So if somebody wants to volunteer, how do they get in contact with?
So you go right on the website and click on the link for volunteers, and then you'll see these spots that'll be open, and you can automatically sign up right there.
Well, it sounds like a good opportunity for somebody that wants to help with the festival and enjoy it.
Yeah, and like I said, you get free admission that day.
I know that you're not an NA Guinness fan probably, but I know you haven't sipped that yet. You might be waiting till the show's over so you can dump it.
Cheers. Solancha.
So what are some of the differences you taste in that Guinness NA versus some of the Ireland
Actually,
non-NA?
this is not a bad NA. Guinness did a really good job with this. I'm very surprised.
And you have NA options at the festival as well for people that don't drink.
Yes.
Do you know offhand some of the stuff you have?
I know we have Guinness Zero, and I believe that's going to be about it on the NA side. But that always changes as we get closer to the fest. So
yeah, and then I think as far as the beer goes, obviously regular Guinness, Smithwick's.
Yeah, it's pronounced Smittix.
Smittix.
And we'll have Harp. Those will all be on tap and also in can. And then the people that put on our beer and stuff is through K Distributing. So there's Coors there, Coors Light, and then of course there'll be some other types of drinks there too also. So
it sounds like the options are pretty good. And I know when I was in Ireland once, and I noticed I was really disappointed with the lack of options at a lot of bars. It seemed like you had 3 Irish beers, which you could get anywhere, really. Mm-hmm. And then, like, Miller, like some of the American options. Yeah. Where do you go when you're there? Is there a secret place you know of that you can try different things? Are you going to microbreweries?
Actually, I'd never really seen a microbrewery there. I just see, the Smittix facility, which, of course, now Smittix is brewed at the Guinness facility in Dublin. But no, I mean, you go into a lot of the pubs over there in Ireland, and the only beer you'll see that they have now is usually Coors Light. So, and everything else is, there's a Carlsberg, which is a Belgian beer, and then the rest of it, like you said, is pretty much everything that's brewed in Ireland. So
I would imagine you would just always get the Guinness.
I go for the Smittix.
So you mentioned the dog showing. Mm-hmm. Can people bring their dogs if they've got a dog?
Usually we have them reach out to us. There's paperwork that they have to fill out. They have to have licenses and all that. So you just can't bring your normal dog there.
So you have to get paperwork, get it filled out, and then bring the paperwork with.
Yeah, you would contact us at info@irishfest.com of the Fox Cities, and then go from there. As in us booking you to have your dog there and that. So this year, I think we have a total of 5 Irish Terriers and a couple Irish Setters. So we have a pretty good amount of canines already this year. So
we had a question comment here from Bob Minter. Is Guinness supposed to be served room temp?
I don't believe so.
I think it was kind of a scolding and a question comment. Do you like it room temp?
No, I like it nice and cold.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Anything else that people should know about Irish Fest of the Fox Cities? Let's talk about the sponsors because things take obviously sponsors are a big part of this. Who are some of the sponsors that stepped up this year?
Actually, between the volunteers and the sponsorship, this wouldn't happen. Each year if it wasn't for them. This year our sponsorship list is just growing and growing. But like I said, our presenting sponsors are New Ingredients. Then we have Bergstrom Automotive. We have Menasha Corp., Marcus McGuire Homes. We also have, it's just tons and tons of great sponsors. So, it continues. If it wasn't for them, this festival would not be happening.
Are you still looking for sponsors?
We always are looking for sponsors.
And have you already started planning Irish Fest of the Fox Cities 6?
Yes.
What's the biggest surprise that you noticed from taking over the festival that you didn't realize was a thing prior?
Well, I never realized how much Matt really did. I mean, we knew he did a lot, but he kept everything to himself, and there's a lot of planning to this festival. And I got to say that I have a fantastic leadership team that's helped me to get this completed. So we have a fantastic festival this year. But yeah, there is a lot of things that we never seen new, and of course now you finally figure it out when you're doing this. So. Some days are stressful, other days are not. So, I mean,
And are you typically able to attend each minute of the festival every year?
Usually as the day goes. When it first starts out, we usually have a few hiccups behind the scenes and, people don't really see it, but you're running around and making sure things are good. But that's why we have a leadership team, and they help out in all these different areas, and it all comes together for a great 2-day festival.
You mentioned your lovely wife makes the Reubens.
Oh, yes.
Is there also bangers, I think? Or?
This year she is not doing bangers. This year it's the Reubens, of course, she's bringing back. She did not last year. We tried the Reuben rolls, but this year she's bringing back the Reuben, fish and chips, shepherd's pie. Sounds like she's bringing bread pudding back. So everybody liked that. That was real good stuff.
So is there something that sells more than everything else, food-wise?
God, I think she has it summed up this year with the top 3 is Reuben's, fish and chips, and shepherd's pie. I mean, so those are the top 3, and then I know she has some other things that she's going to have, but those seem to be the big hitters.
So I was hoping you could give me your elevator pitch. Quick highlights of why, if somebody's on the fence about attending Irish Fest of the Fox Cities, why they should come to this festival.
That's a good question, Andy. Very good question. Honestly, it's world-renowned artists. The music, the culture, the heritage, the friendships that you make there, they last forever. They're bonds with people. And you're going to see in those 2 days just unbelievable artists. I mean, it's world renowned, so. And
if you want to find out more about the festival, you've got a website that they can go to. That website address is, you probably know it by heart, so I should have asked you, but it's, if people want to check out the website, it is at irishfestfoxcities.com. That was tricky.
Yes.
If people want to volunteer, go to the website and volunteer. Mark laid out a great list of things you get just for volunteering for even a 3-hour shift, which was unbelievable. Music, food, cultural knowledge they can obtain from going here in the Cultural Center. Sounds like a win. So it's, again, September 19th and 20th. That's a Friday and Saturday at Jones Park. And we were talking before the show, the decision was made to move it back because of getting out of that competing with the Packer.
Yes.
I think there was a Packer concert last year.
Yep. And that definitely, that's one of the things you're always going to be with the Fox Cities is you're going to be battling when the Packers are going to be home or away. It helps, and it does, if they're home, it helps. But also Michigan, which is Michigan's Irish Fest, is the same weekend it was last year as ours. So, and they've been around for 25 years. They draw a lot of artists, so it's hard to pull some of good artists over here when they're going to a fest that's been around for 20 plus years. So we moved it 1 weekend past that. So now it frees it up, and it works for both of us now. So,
do you have people like Fish, Grateful Dead fans, attendees that go from festival to festival, like would drive to Michigan, go down to Milwaukee, and then come up to the Fox Cities?
Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of people that follow some of these bands like Scary Vor and Drowsy Lads, and I mean it's amazing. You see these people that just everywhere you go. There's like, I was just down in Milwaukee just a few weeks ago and seeing people that have been at our fest and seeing these bands. So yeah, there's a lot of people that follow them around.